Hey, what's up, Levi? This is a demo video for you for your Warsabers Starkiller V4. This is installed with a Proffie. It's the Proffie you provided. Actually, you provided pretty much all the parts and a chassis, but at the last minute, you had seen the chassis that I designed and asked me to use mine instead. So mine's in here. You've got your stock V2 in there that you provided. This is a 2-button setup, so your front piece under the clamp here will be your power. Your back will be your auxiliary. All right. This is going to be your blade retention right here. All right, so that's what we're going to use for blade retention. I've got the grub screw that goes in here. It's still in your box. I haven't put that in yet, so I will do that before I send it out because it's floating around in your box. But you do get some shine through right here. You get some more shine through here. Your kit came with a PCB that had 2 Neopixel LEDs for the actual crystal, so that's what we use there, and then another 6-pixel accent strip for the back of the crystal chamber. So you'll see that light up here in a second as well. All right, you had asked for some light weathering to make this look used but taken care of. So I'll try to take a moment and just spin this around. I didn't do anything too crazy. I did weather this up very lightly. I did heat stain your 6 button head screws here. So your 3 here and your 3 over here. Heat stain those. Weathered up your crystal chamber a little bit with your rods. But like I said, nothing too crazy. All right. Copper band up a little bit, and then of course the handle as well. How to get to the chassis is you just want to take the handle and unscrew it. All right. This handle comes with a grub screw. I don't use it. Some people like to. I just don't typically use it when I'm like every time I'm installing these. I've done, I don't know, 4 or 5 of them by now. But that grub screw goes right here, and it helps you lock the orientation of these grips. So you can do it like this in like a cross formation or an X formation. I find that the rubber O-ring that they put on this kit right here, it does a fine job of that. All right. So you really don't need that grub screw on the handle, in my personal opinion. But this is the chassis here. So you've got your Proffie board up here. You do have easy access, to your SD card, your micro USB. And then you have a kill switch right over here. You got a 15 accent Neopixel strip underneath this portion right here. And then you have another one over here. All right. And then you also have a removable battery setup. And then lastly, the speaker that you provided was not functioning when I went to install it and test it. So I swapped it out with a Smuggler's Outpost 28 millimeter. This is the Elite version. All right, so we'll go ahead and we'll throw a battery in this guy. The battery snaps in there nice and tough and won't pop out, but you won't hear anything, of course, until we come over here and we flip our kill switch. Let me turn this light off real quick. We'll flip our kill switch.
Check out that noise. I think Lord Vader's experiment just got loose.
So you got both of the accents on, like in the chassis, that are wired together, so they act the same. You can see that on my hand. And of course, I got your crystal pulsing. Your crystal's pulsing in here, while the back of the chamber just keeps going up and down. This is the kit scanner off of Fed's library. All right, until we turn it on. And your crystal goes solid, while in the back there, it's just a fast, I think this is the fast turbine. And then you've got twist off there. All of these LEDs are on a timer, so if you do not turn on your saber right away, they'll time out and turn off so they don't kill your battery. All right, but we can go ahead and put our handle on. It is a very snug fit, but everything fits nice. We'll screw that down all the way. You can take that O-ring now and you can lock it in any orientation you want. So on this particular one, of course, if you look at the grips, I've got it locked in the cross formation, all right, and not the X. But you can push it further if you wanted to and go into the X formation. All right, then we hit power. Very bright. All your LEDs in there firing up. turn this off. So one thing I will say is that you provided the PCB. It's a stock V2. It was the long pin version. It came with a lens cap. But this saber also comes with a PCB holder, and it's the same thing I designed. It goes on the top of the crystal chamber. It might be kind of hard to see there, but it sits down into the chamber, and that lens cap doesn't fit. So I left it off. It was getting in the way more than it was helping when it was going over those pins. So because of that, you want to be very careful when you're putting in a blade. I would have preferred to put in a short pin PCB. Okay, but this one is fine. You just want to take your blade and be careful. You feel it bouncing up and down on the pins. Go ahead and stop and lock your blade down. Then, like I said, we're using this for blade retention right here. The only thing you want to watch out from doing is just taking your blade and just jamming it in this emitter. That's something you don't want to do. But as long as you're careful and you put it in and then you lock it down when you're done, everything works fine. And like I said, I will put the grub screw back into here before I strip it out. That will take that shine through away, but you'll still have shine through in your glass eye there, and you'll still have shine through here, right? Blaster bolts is just tapping the auxiliary. Blade lockup's holding the auxiliary down and hitting the saber. And it moves up and down the saber according to how you hold it, right? This is, of course, my test blade, but this saber is set up for a full-length blade. And then to go to the next sound font, what you want to do is just tap auxiliary.
I will give you so much more.
We'll turn it off and then turn it back on. This one I made all of the animations in the crystal happen when the saber was on, just to give you a little bit of variety. So your crystal is still solid, but you've still got that animation in the back. Unstable blade for this one. So your blade lockup here would be out here. And when you go like this, and your blade lockup comes down to, closer to the emitter. You see it on my hand right here. You got good flash on class. I gave you twist off, and then both of your sound fonts have sound tracks. So to get to those, it's just a long press on the power when the saber's off. And it's another long press to turn it off. Just like that. All right, so we'll go ahead and take the blade out of this guy. A copy of the config file that I used to program this is on the SD card. So when you go to make your changes, you can see what I did there. All right. So again, when we're done, we'll just come over here, take our handle off. I'll fire this up again to show you that the kill switch works. Kill switch right here, and it cuts everything off just like it should. All right, and then when you're done, you might need a tool like the back of a pair of tweezers or something because the battery's in there pretty tight, but you can pop it out. Sometimes I can get it with my finger. Sometimes I need a tool. But when I took the sticker off this battery, this is a brand new battery that I just took the sticker off of it. I left some of the sticky stuff on, and I think sometimes it gets stuck up in the chassis and it needs that tool. But yeah, that is basically your Warsabers Starkiller V4. Let me know if you have any questions, and if not, I'll get this out in the mail to you by tomorrow. Thanks.